Hi, Taylor T. Carlson here, and I love it when boutique labels put out great 4K releases of classic films, and we just got this little gem from 1980 released on 4K not too terribly long ago. This movie is The Final Countdown. Blue Underground is best known for giving us 4Ks of horror movies, but here we get this Navy sci-fi classic, and it's great to see that we get to revisit this one. I'm going to do an unboxing and review for this, let you know if I recommend it or not. I also do want to point out that there's been a more recent reissue of this release that's the 4K disc only. This is a slightly older release that also includes a few other discs, so I'll explain more about that as we get on with this review. Here's our cover art, names of the stars, title of the film, quote at the bottom, and this is a lenticular piece of artwork, so that actually looks very cool. And then we've got our spine text on the slipcover, back cover with a description of the film, legalese, credits, list of bonus features. And we take this off. Underneath here, we actually have reversible art. I already reversed the art. What's normally there is similar to what's on the cover of the slipcover, albeit without the lenticular effect. Pretty much the same thing on the back. In here we get a pretty nice little booklet. Chapter select options on the back there. As is my usual routine, I'm not going to go through every single page of the booklet, but I'll just give you a few excerpts so you get an idea of what's there. Right here we have our 4K disc. Like I said, the more recent reissue is the 4K disc only. But in this release, you also get a Blu-ray disc of the film. And one thing that actually pleasantly surprised me that I was very happy to find here, a CD of John Scott's musical score for the film. Here's the reversible art that's underneath there. Like I said, it's pretty much the same thing as the front cover, albeit without the lenticular effect added. And I'll read the description of the film from the back of the package. Trapped outside the boundaries of time and space, 102 aircraft, 6,000 men, all missing. The time is now. The place is aboard the USS Nimitz, America's mightiest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, on maneuvers in the Pacific Ocean. Suddenly, a freak electrical storm engulfs the ship and triggers the impossible. The Nimitz is hurtled back in time to December 6, 1941, mere hours before the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. As the enemy fleet speeds toward Hawaii, the captain's warship, Captain Kirk Douglas, a Defense Department expert, Martin Sheen, a maverick Air Wing commander, James Fiorentino, and a desperate senator in the Roosevelt administration, Charles Durning, must choose between the unthinkable. Do they allow the Japanese to complete their murderous invasion, or launch a massive counterstrike that will forever change the course of history? Catherine Ross and Ron O'Neill co-star on this spellbinding sci-fi action hit, filmed on location aboard the USS Nimitz with the full participation of the U.S. Navy and the ship's crew. Now, Blue Underground is proud to present The Final Countdown in a stunning new restoration, scanned in 4K 16-bit from the original 35mm camera negative with Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos audio for the ultimate and explosive home theater excitement. Now, I have to confess, prior to picking up this disc, I had never seen The Final Countdown before. But I gotta say, I think the premise sounded very interesting. I mean, you have a ship sent back in time with a full naval crew and planes, and they're faced with the dilemma of, do they attack the Japanese so that they're not able to invade Pearl Harbor, or do they let history play out the way that it normally does to prevent any strange occurrences in the present? Well, the present for when the film is set anyway. And I have to say, the movie is somewhat of a mixed bag because at times it focuses more on naval regulations and everything the ship and the crew have to offer versus the more sci-fi elements of the movie. Although if you had the full cooperation of the U.S. Navy, understandably you're going to show that off, and it certainly looks great here. It's a great cast of actors as well. Kirk Douglas, always a spectacular actor, as well as Martin Sheen, one of the most reliable men in Hollywood for so many decades now. And even get a co-starring part from Catherine Ross, probably best known for playing Elaine Robinson in The Graduate back in 1967. It is very interesting to see how this movie unfolds, and this kind of plot at the time was certainly unique and novel, and it's been copied many times by many other films, but I don't know that there's any out there that did it as well as this one. Is it a perfect film? Certainly not, but I had a great time revisiting this one, and I'm glad that I finally got to see it and check it off my bucket list. Blue Underground has been pretty reliable when it comes to giving us transfers of old horror movies, and I'm really happy to see that that work carries over to this release of The Final Countdown. Honestly, this is one of the best looking 4K discs I've ever seen. It was a great restoration they did on this disc, and everything looks perfect, yet it all looks natural. I don't think they used any noise reduction or sharpening here, and it just looks fantastic with the Dolby Vision applied with colorful elements and plenty of deep dark black levels when they're called for as well. This is what a classic film should look like on 4K, and I hope other studios stand up and take notice. Now, I did mention a few bonus features, so I will read those off of here. I haven't had a chance to watch them all myself. We get an audio commentary with Victor J. Kemper, who was the director of photography on the film, a featurette called Lloyd Kaufman Goes Hollywood, an interview with associate producer Lloyd Kaufman, starring the Jolly Rogers, interviews with the Jolly Rogers F-14 Fighter Squadron, and then we also have theatrical trailers, TV spots, and posters and still galleries. And of course, I also just showed you the booklet as well as the soundtrack score CD. So this is a great package, and I think anyone who's a fan of this film, interested in checking it out, should certainly take the plunge. It's a fantastic movie, and I will say there is the more recent reissue available, like I mentioned, that's only the 4K disc. But if you do want a 1080p release in that CD, you'll want to get this older release if you can still find it. Are you a fan of The Final Countdown? Is this one of your favorite films? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.